fake contractions, fake labor. And she was all like, probably in the next 2 hours. And we're like, what? 2 hours? Next 2 hours? Like today? Next thing you know, they're like, what the heck is going on? Okay, we're gonna have to put you under plan B. They were born, they were evicted.
Make you go lovey-dovey. Your body on me make you go lovey-dovey. Yeah, make you go lovey.
Hi guys, welcome back. May 19th, 2022. The day I gave birth. Okay, so basically I was expecting babies 36 weeks May 10th. They didn't come May 10th. They didn't come May 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, or the 15th, or the 16th, or the 17th. So come around May 18th, I found out about this brew. Mind you, before this, I was walking, exercising, yoga, stretching, bouncing. There's a couple of things that can help bring on labor. However, my body was not having it. Come around May 18th, I found out about this Midwifes brew. Let me show you the ingredients. Okay, so the ingredients were a tablespoon of castor oil, probably a tablespoon of almond butter, and like a bunch of these. The key ingredient is lemon verbena leaves and apricot juice. I put it in my refrigerator. I was gonna save it, but somebody must have drunk it because I could have sworn it was in my refrigerator. I'm gonna show it right here. Apricot juice. And link all the ingredients in the description box below because oh my gosh, crazy. I made it by midnight of May 18th. I finished it. I finished drinking it. It was nasty. Oh gosh, it was so nasty and it was so much. By 3 a.m. I was just getting really uncomfortable. I already went to bed. I was falling asleep. I was like, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed at 1 a.m. 2 a.m. I was kind of just tossing and turning. But then by 3 a.m. I'm all like, okay, like something's going on. I need to walk around because I feel like I'm contracting, but it's not progressing because I'm laying down. So I was like, okay, let me just walk around and let me time whatever's going on. So when I started walking around, it was pretty consistent, about 15 minutes apart. Just like this tightening and somewhat releasing, and then tightening and then somewhat releasing. And then by the time it was maybe 5 a.m., it was 5 minutes apart, like exactly on the dot. My app was like, go to the hospital, this is it. And I'm all like, wait, what, are you sure? Like, I was very, I don't know. I woke up Chris and I was just like, are you sure we should go to the hospital? Like, it didn't feel painful. It felt like period cramps from your lower back, and it just felt like mild period cramps, you know, like take ibuprofen, it'll probably go away, and then it'll cramp up again, and then be like, oh, okay, here's the next one. So 5 a.m. I wake up Chris. He's like, yeah, you know, who cares, let's go ahead, because it is a 40-minute drive to the hospital. And I was all like, I don't want to make this trip all the way, and it turns out to be false, you know. So thank goodness he was very helpful. He was very encouraging. He said, it don't matter, let's go, you're okay. And then so we ended up going. As we're on the road, it turns out it was like 55 minutes, and I'm all like, wow, you know, these are getting pretty intense. But it was still 5 minutes apart. It just was, the cramping was just more intense. I don't know if it was because I was just sitting down for so long, it could have made it worse. we start to get closer to the hospital, and all of a sudden they're now 6 minutes apart, then 5 minutes apart, then 7 minutes apart. And I'm like, what the heck? It doesn't matter, we're already there. So we go in, we check in, they tell me to go upstairs. Chris stays downstairs to check in, and then when I go upstairs, they just take my blood pressure. They ask me what's going on. I tell them I was having contractions. It was about 5 minutes apart. The app told me to come in, and then they was all like, okay. And that was it. So then they had registered me in, gave me a bracelet, told me to go sit down in the waiting room, and I'm just waiting there. And yeah, really uncomfortable. Just contraction after contraction. Still about 5 minutes apart. But it wasn't consistent like it was supposed to be. But that didn't matter. They took me into the room. They hooked me up. They were checking the baby's heart rate. They were checking my contractions. And then babies are starting to wake up. I have to hurry. They start to check the heartbeats and my contractions, and they're asking me, okay, the contractions kind of slowed down a little bit. And I was like, yeah, they did. She was like, okay, let me go ahead and check your dilation. But when the nurse went to go check the dilation, she was all like, I can't really tell, I can't really see, I need to go get the doctor to really see. And I was like, okay, that's no problem. And then so then later on, whatever, she checks my blood pressure. She's all like, oh, that's a little high. Just relax, and the doctor will be here shortly. So then the doctor comes in later, and then she checks my dilation. She goes in there, she's all like, okay, so it is a little harder to tell how much you're dilated, but I wasn't even dilated, not a single centimeter, not a little bit, not even a tiny bit. Fake contractions, fake labor. It tricked me. I went all that way. So instead of unhooking me and taking me home, my doctor said that my blood pressure is a little high. She found a little bit of protein in my urine, which is early stage of preeclampsia. If you guys don't know what preeclampsia is, Google it. You guys, it's a serious matter. It's detrimental to your pregnancy. It's very, very serious. And because of that, she said that you know what, let's go ahead and keep you here. Let's see if your labor progresses and see what's going on. So 1 second. Hi. Okay, so I am currently breastfeeding a baby, but that's okay. Let's continue on with the story. So I get there, she tells me my blood pressure is high. We found a little bit of protein, but not too serious, not to worry. But she did ask if I wanted to stay there, see if my labor progresses, and maybe even get me in for a C-section that day. So I was like, really? Okay, like, yeah, what's the harm in waiting? I was up all night, so honestly I'm tired. So what I do is I went ahead and went to sleep. 2 hours later, you know, the doctor comes in about 12. She came in a little earlier, but apparently I was asleep, whatever. So anyway, she comes in around 12 o'clock, and she's like, okay, so you haven't progressed. It's not, you know, it doesn't look too good. I don't know if she was offering to induce me or not, but a major thing that we were concerned with is that Alea, she was breached. She was not in position to come out. So she was actually folded like this at the top of my stomach. So my doctor was telling me how we can either go into labor, I deliver baby A, and then we can try to deliver baby B breech. However, if it does not work out, we'll have to do a C-section to get her out. And I was all like, that's where you lost me. That's what I'm not about to do. So I told her, I was all like, honestly, if there's, I want to completely avoid doing that. She was like, okay, then let's go ahead and do a C-section. And I was all like, okay, let's do that. By that time, I think I had Chris in the room, and Chris said, you know, so how long would you be able to, will we be going? And she was all like, probably in the next 2 hours. And we're like, what? 2 hours? Next 2 hours? Like today? So yeah. And so as soon as she leaves the room, they start prepping me to get a C-section. And I was like, yeah, so I pulled out my camera and I was like, okay, like, you guys, is happening. And yeah, so that's what I have footage of so far. So crazy, you guys. But yeah, that's basically what went down that day. And then next thing you know, a couple of hours later, they were born. They were evicted out of my tummy. Woo! All right, so today we're going to be doing a C-section. Alea's breached. Adonis is head down. They were able to schedule me in, so that's what we're going to do. Right now they're giving me medicine, some antibiotics, and acetaminophen for recovery. They give us these cool little hats.
Yeah, cool hats.
All right, a little nervous. Okay, yeah, story time. Okay, so I took naps, and then I ate some pineapple, and then I bounced on my ball, and then I went into the backyard to like walk around, and I got this really bad cramp that felt like a Charlie's horse in the side of my stomach. Oh, it just would not go away. I think it was probably like 7 minutes. I called my sister to tell her, and it felt like forever though. But finally that went away, and I was like, thank goodness. So then later, you know, I just went back to sleep, and then we decided to try this brew, and that was at what, midnight?
Oh no, that was like midnight.
Midnight, yeah, midnight is when I started drinking it. 11 was probably when we got all the ingredients. And then at 3 a.m. I woke up from sleeping to just really uncomfortable. I just couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't find a comfortable position, and I felt like squeezing, but it wasn't like progressing. So I was like, okay, maybe if I walk around, you know, I can progress and, you know, possibly go into labor. So, you know, I got up, I went to go get some water, and I started walking around, and sure enough, I couldn't go to sleep after that. No matter what I did, I just kept just getting contractions. And usually, like, if I sit down on the couch or if I bounce on my ball, like, it goes away, but it just would not go away. So I was experiencing that from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. is when we left to the hospital. Around 3 a.m. they were like 15 to 10 minutes apart, and then they were a consistent 10 minutes apart for a whole hour, and then the app was like, go to the hospital. And then I still waited for some reason, but yeah, it just felt like period cramps. So in your back and in your abdominal area where you have period cramps, and then your stomach gets as hard as a rock. So it just, and then it'll go away, kind of.
it didn't really go away. It was still painful, but then you'll notice that it'll get like tighter, and then it'll kind of go away. It was so annoying. I was so confused on what was going on. And yeah, so we ended up here. What time did we? It took us an hour to get here. And on the road, we were like 5 minutes. They were like 5 minutes apart. My gosh, you guys! And then I got here, and I had no dilation. It was nothing. So turns out that was all fake. But it felt real. So then they took my blood pressure, and turns out that I had a little bit of protein in my urine. So they didn't mind monitoring me for a little bit, because I am 37 weeks, and with twins, that's a pretty good time frame. And my blood pressure was a little high, kind of irregular, protein. They was like, okay, we're just going to monitor you. Let's see if labor progresses, or let's see if we can get you for a C-section. Whatever, I felt comfortable with. So I've just been in here being monitored, and weighing my options on what I was going to do. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and go with the C-section. Anything else? You tired?
A little tired. Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little tired. I slept from when we got here to like 12. I was able to sleep like a good hour or so. We called family, let them know I was here. And yeah. Don't put it on right now. She said wait.
She said it was cool to put it on.
Huh?
I'm okay to put it on.
It's okay, just wait.
But it's cool.
No, just keep it nice and clean until it's actual time.
It'll still look nice and clean.
No,
I feel like there's gonna be blood all over this.
Ew. Oh, so tired. I'm so hungry. You're not able to eat anything or drink anything. So I haven't ate since yesterday. But yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated. Pretty much that's what happened today. And wish me luck.
Okay, another story time. So here's what went down in the operation room. So I go get a C-section, and before I go to get that C-section, the anesthesia guy, I don't know, I should probably say that right, but I don't know how to say it. Anyway, he comes in and he goes over what the plan is. So the first plan is, I believe, the epidural. He said it goes through the spine, and it will waist down, and he said that's the best way for you and baby. Plan B was to put me to sleep and numb me, which isn't so good for plan A, for a baby. And then there was a plan C. I forgot about that. I don't know what that was. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, what's the likelihood of a plan B anyway? Like, it's most likely going to be plan A anyway. So I wasn't even too worried then. I go in, they're asking me, have you ever done an operation before? And I was all like, no. And it was actually super nerve-wracking. You go into the operation room, you don't have anybody there with you. It's just a bunch of people, and a lot of people just moving around, getting everything prepared. So then they go ahead and prep you. They do the epidural. That was so painful, so painful. And all he was saying is this is the worst part. This is the worst part. You got this. This is the worst part. Arch your back against it, against the pain. Arch your back and be as still as possible. And that was so hard. Whatever. I did it. It was over. I don't know how still I was, but I did it. So then after that, you know, they went ahead and laid me down, and then they began to check how the numbness is going. So they check my leg, they check my thigh, and then by the time they get up to my stomach, they're like, do you feel the pin needle? Well, by the time they got to my stomach, I felt it. I'm like, yes, I feel it. So then they elevate my legs, they try to get, I guess, it flowing or whatever. It didn't work. They tested again, and I'm like, okay, I still feel that it's not working. Next thing you know, everybody else is still, you know, preparing. They're like, okay, it's gonna work eventually. They put the blue sheet over me. I'm like, I'm starting to panic a little bit, because as my legs are elevated, my stomach is just so heavy on my chest, and then I can't breathe as well because I'm so uncomfortable, you know. Then they went ahead and used these clamps, I guess, to check on my stomach to see if I feel it. It was painful. They're clamping onto my stomach, and I feel every inch of it. So I'm like, it's not working. I feel it, it hurts, stop, whatever. So next thing you know, they're like, what the heck is going on? Okay, we're gonna have to put you under plan B. Next thing you know, they're like, what the heck is going on? Okay, we're gonna have to put you under plan B. And I'm all like, what? Happened so quick. I'm like, I think I went into a panic attack. I think I started panicking. So they're like, it's okay, you're okay. By the time you wake up, the babies will be here. And then I'm like, what? And then I'm asleep. I don't remember anything after that. And sure enough, by the time I wake up, I am in recovery. And I see a nurse, and she's like, hi, good morning. You look tired, just go ahead and sleep, okay? Don't worry about it. And so then I go back to sleep, and I don't know how long I was, oh my gosh. She's spitting up the milk. Why are you spitting up the milk? Is it a lot? Oh yeah. So I'm now in the recovery room, and I am just going in and out of it, in and out of it. I don't remember anything. But it turns out that my family actually came into that room, and they were able to see the babies and hold the babies. And when they had showed me the babies, I was seeing double. And I'm like, very, very surprised on why there's so many babies. I don't know if I was like, why are there 4 babies, or what exactly I said. All I know is I was seeing a lot of babies, and then I went back to sleep. So it was absolutely crazy. I was just very, very so much out of it. By the time I really come to consciousness, I look around and I finally realized that there's 2 babies and that they're mine. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, they're here. It was super exciting. I was still kind of nodding off though. So, you know, the nurse was just super duper helpful. She said it was time to nurse them. So that's when I got my first lesson on nursing. And just like me in high school, I was nodding off, like going to sleep every probably 10 seconds just. But for the most part, she was super duper helpful. She would hold the baby and then hold me, and she would show me how to latch them, and yeah, they would just eat away, and then it was the next baby. And you know, she was all like, sometimes you gotta continue to stimulate them so that way they continue to eat, because they do like to fall asleep. Another helpful tip was to go from the nose and down to the lip, and that's going to get them to open their mouth. And then as soon as they open their mouth, you get your whole nipple and everything, and you put it right in. A couple of nurses taught me a lot of different ways, and honestly, I think I'm gonna do a breastfeeding video as well to kind of go over everything that I learned with nursing and nursing twins. So I think that would be super helpful. You can put some questions in the comments below if you guys would like that. Let's see, so then after that, I wait until my room is ready, and then I'm fully conscious. They put both babies in my arms, and then they say, all right, let's go ahead, let's go up to the room. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So then we go up to the room, and my mom, Chris's mom, and Chris is there. So they're all there in the room. I come in and I'm immediately crying. I just know that it was such a happy experience for me, but not only for me, for them too. So it was super emotional. Yeah. So then I went ahead and tried to record as much of the recovery process as possible. So basically when I get there, what they're focusing on is me managing the pain of the C-section, me properly recovering. So you have to have a bowel movement or pass gas or something just to get everything down there going. They also want you to walk around just to get everything moving. Very important. What else were they focusing on? They were focusing on the babies, of course, making sure that they eat enough. So every 3 hours they were making sure that I fed them and that they're pooping and peeing. All right, we did it. Look at that difference. Wow. Aww. So right now it is, what time is it? It's like 9 something. Yeah, it's almost 10. It's like 10 o'clock. And my mom and his mom had just left.
And the babies are right in there. And this is the room. It's just us. And oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Crazy story. But yeah, I'll let you guys know later. So right now I have fed them about an hour ago, and they're still on and off crying. But that one's Alea, and then she stops, and then that one's Adonis. He's actually not crying, even though he is wanting some food. It's probably because he's in daddy's arms. So getting spoiled already. Do not spoil him. And then Alea is jealous over there. She wants some titty. Adonis definitely wants some titty, so that's what we're gonna try to do right now. Get them a little bit and then see if they go to sleep for a while. I don't know. I think right now it's just on cue whenever they ask for it.
It's full of things that are so you right now and the you you're becoming.
All right, baby. I'm gonna go do a little charting. You want me to hand you this little person?
Yes. Alright. Okay guys, so today is day 2 of recovery. Yesterday night at 2 a.m. they had me get up and walk a little bit and breastfeed them, and that's about it. Now it's day 2. I got some breakfast and I got some lunch, and they've just been focusing on me going to the bathroom and moving around. So yeah, so let's go ahead and
You're gonna stand up?
yeah.
All right. Take your time.
Just come to the edge here very slowly. And then just
What hurts?
so this right here, this incision hurts. But the more you moved, the more it's tolerable. So before, especially when you have a full bladder, it was so painful. I used the bathroom this morning and I couldn't even pee. Like my muscles was so tight. They didn't even let me pee.
Wow. So are you able to walk? Like,
So yeah, so I used the bathroom, I was able to pee, and you know, the more I walk, the better I get at it, but just real nice and slow. So you just, and yeah, you just feel that tight muscle, and then you feel the incision, and that's basically where you feel it. But yeah. So let's go ahead and see what we're working with here.
what you working with?
I got the, the new style, that doctor
Well,
collection. So yeah.
Girl, you are rocking that. It's stylish.
Wow.
And
That's
so
that's the belly. So yeah, look at the belly.
you do look pregnant.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So just a good 6 months. Yeah, I'll say they'll be due any time now.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Okay.
It went down compared to what it was.
So this is hard. This is flabby. This is painful. All right.
Well, you're smiling.
Yes, and I've been only breastfeeding, and it hasn't been that bad. So the first nurse, when I was in the recovery room, because I had to feed them right after the C-section, she was really helpful. She told me how when their mouth opens, you
Get it in there.
So was this like a your nurse, or was this a lactation nurse that was helping you breastfeed?
This was just my recovery nurse. Honestly, I was out of it. I was still waking up, and they were just helping with babies because I was out of it. I just kept falling asleep. I'm trying to remember the key details about me first breastfeeding. I can't even remember. Like, I was so out of it. I remember.
Well, who latched on first?
Oh, she was doing it for me. She was doing it for me.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
Because you were out of it.
I just
In and out.
kept. So she was basically breastfeeding them for me, and she'll show me, and I wasn't doing anything. She was holding the baby. She was holding my poop. She would show me how to do it, and then I'll kind of just doze off and I'll be like, okay. And I got to do it once, so I did it once, and she's like, yes, you did very good. And then so then we got to feed both of them, and they were doing really good with the latching on, and I got to see a good example on how to do it. And she was just like, don't get frustrated, don't get nervous, you know, you're doing just fine. This is just the process. It's not too painful as you're breastfeeding. You get those contractions and all that. It could have just been the medicine, but I was okay. I was doing good. So yeah, so right now they're every 3 hours, and they don't wake up to eat, so you gotta wake them up to eat.
Yes, so who's ready to eat now?
So Adonis, I gotta wake him up. Okay.
And the given volume, do you need that?
So this is my first diaper change. Go easy on me.
First diaper change.
You're not going to
7.5.
You're so squirmy. Oh, I need his mittens.
And the milligrams was what? 1.5.
Let's see.
Ooh. Meconium, that's what it's called.
Okay, baby.
Okay, let me do this. I don't think I knew what I signed up for. Babe, you did this already?
See.
I'm like,
You
where
did this
did I
already?
find it?
In the bedroom,
Like all night.
That's how I've been doing. I've been asleep this whole time.
He's a master
And
diaper
I was
changer.
watching you,
Yeah, literally. Like,
and you made it look so easy. Oh my god.
I did Alea's first, and then it kind of just Adonis. Well, Adonis is harder. Adonis is a lot harder.
Okay.
Alea is really easy. Really easy. She knows what to do. She'll stand the leg out for the diaper.
Does she for real?
Oh, this guy, he crunches up, and he's
Yeah,
like,
he crunches up.
he
And
makes it difficult. He really does.
it's so thick. So Alea helps you change her diaper.
Oh yeah, Alea's very helpful. Adonis is
So it's very sticky. How do you?
It
you
is.
just gotta keep wiping. Keep wiping. Use another one if you have to.
So, why was she a general?
Dad's a pro. He been changing diapers all night.
Well, you
How many days experience? 1 day? Wow.
When you had your C-section, did they try to do a spinal on you?
Yes.
And it didn't work, so they
And
did a
it didn't
general?
work. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta be quick with him. That's why we got all the supplies out and ready to go with him.
A lot of Vaseline. So they said don't be shy with them.
Don't be shy with it. Mommy's gonna be swift next time. She got this.
There you go, baby.
Daddy's gonna swallow him up while you go take that in. And then you can get your hands clean so you can breastfeed him. Technique. Okay, walk me through it. So, what we got going here?
Something like this. Right here. I got you, buddy. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
he
he's
wants the
hungry.
nurse.
Baby, he's hungry.
Yeah, we're about to feed him.
Yeah. Oops. Okay. Okay.
Say, I'm okay. I know you got me, Dad. Daddy's swaddling 101.
Lady, that thing. She knows how to do it really, really tight. Oops, you're hungry. Stop doing that.
So we'll take this hand, and then you could cross it one at a time.
Yeah. So he's the one that's been doing that to me. It's okay. All right.
And then put this hand across, and then take the other one.
It's okay. It's okay, buddy. Are you okay? Oops. But you're trying to eat the blanket. Stop that.
Hey guys, so today is what feels like day 3. Ugh. It is discharge day. So basically what they've been doing is pain management, making sure we're keeping up with feedings and recovery. So they gave us this chart. So it'll have all of the feedings, the times. I know it's so sloppy, honestly. It took us so hard to get the hang of it, but we're finally getting the hang of it. So cool. So every 3 hours you'll make sure that they eat. Sometimes they don't wake up to eat, sometimes they want to eat a little sooner. However, your goal was just to have 1 wet diaper, 1 stool diaper, and we've actually went over that. They had multiple wet diapers, multiple stool diapers within the first and second day. So yeah, they said that's really good, perfectly normal. Yes, baby. So it kind of looks like a sign of wanting to eat, but trust me, the second I'll put her on, she'll go right to sleep. Look at you, you're opening so wide.
Did they give you, what did they give you, sorry, Alexia?
Some Tylenol and Motrin.
They didn't give you the stronger pain medication?
No, I take it when I get home.
Oh my God, I hope they don't get the pain stuff.
Yeah.